Hey everyone, it's James from FunFoods, and today I'm going to show you how to make this Fortnite gingerbread map. This is really cool. I made everything from the battle bus to the loot llama, you name it, everything's edible. So keep watching and I'll show you step by step how to make this. Start off with a large bowl. Inside that we're going to put 6 cups of flour. Next, a half a teaspoon of baking powder, 4 teaspoons of ground ginger, 4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground cloves, and about a half a teaspoon of salt. Just whisk this all together. In a separate but larger bowl, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of butter that's softened at room temperature, 1.5 cups of packed brown sugar. Just blend that together. When that's all creamed together, we're going to add 2 large eggs. And then 1 cup of molasses. Then 1 tablespoon of water. Mix this up. Now slowly add in your dry ingredients to your wet. Do about 1/3 at a time. All right, when that's all mixed up, we're going to turn it out onto some plastic wrap here. I'm dividing it up into 2 different batches. You can put them all in one if you want. And you can see it's a pretty loose dough right now. It's not too loose, but just want to knead it a little bit. And just wrap it up nice and tight. And we're going to put this in the refrigerator to chill for at least a half hour. So after about a half hour, we can pull our dough out of the refrigerator. It should have firmed up a bit. Sprinkle our surface with some flour. And turn our dough out onto that. And you just want to knead the dough a little bit more. Now we're just going to roll the dough out into about 1/4 inch in thickness. I've drawn and cut out the shapes I want. This is going to be the battle bus. I have to do 2 of these. And then of course all the way around it we have to do. So I'm just going to put it on there and trace it out. Now that all our pieces are cut out, we're going to take them out carefully, put them on a baking sheet. When you get them on the baking sheet, we're going to put them back in the refrigerator for at least 20 minutes, and we're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Now put this in the oven and bake it at 350 for anywhere between 12 and 14 minutes. When they come out of the oven, let them cool completely. Now we're going to make the mortar, which is really just royal icing. All you're going to need is 2 egg whites and some powdered sugar, about 2.5 cups of powdered sugar. We want to whisk this on high until it becomes fluffy. We can add a little bit of vanilla extract to this now. And slowly add in about 2.5 cups of powdered sugar. You can see the thickness is quite thick for mine. You can be a little less thick than that if you want. The thicker it is, the faster it will harden up when you're joining the parts together. And we're going to divide this into 2 different bowls. We'll keep the big bowl white, and this one we're going to dye blue. Just add a little bit of blue food coloring to it. Now our gingerbread bus is hardened up nicely. We're going to match everything up. This is like the front part and all that. You'll see as it goes. I have the blue icing or frosting, and we're going to put some on right here. You can be generous with it. This is the front part. And you're going to have to hold it there for a minute or 2 to let it firm up. And we're going to let this dry before we put on this piece. All right, so I let this harden up a little bit before I go on and put the top part on. And that's just going to go on just like this. If you have any gaps, you can just fill it in with more frosting. Next, we're going to blow up a balloon, and we want it to be about the size of the battle bus balloon. And I'm just going to eyeball that. that's a good size. Take some melted white chocolate and we're going to dip it in our balloon. Get really good coverage here. And the best way to do this is with a cupcake liner, and we're going to flip it over. The parts we touch, we're going to cover up with some white chocolate. And just let that firm up. This is hardened up, so I want to remove this from this tray it's sitting on. I want to be careful not to break it, so I'm just going to use a knife to go around the bottom part to cut that chocolate. There we go. Now I also punctured the balloon a little bit here, and that's okay. That's what we want to do in the long run. Just be careful not to squeeze it as we pull that balloon out, because it will break. I've also melted down some blue candy melts. This is going to go just on the top part of the balloon, just to make it look like the Fortnite balloon. Now let's dip this into our blue candy melts carefully. Like I said, very carefully. There we go. We're going to let that dry. While that's drying, we are going to decorate our bus that has hardened up nicely now. The wheels are yellow, so I'm going to make those yellow now. Now we're going to put this part of it on right like that. Put some of that white frosting on the bottom. And set it in place. I'm also going to take some pretzel sticks, little tiny pretzel rods here, put a little bit of that glue on there, a little bit on there. And that's it. That's our battle bus. Now let's do some other parts. Next, we're going to make the lake. And to do that, I'm going to do it an interesting way. And that is we're going to make some hard candy. We're going to turn it blue and flavor it and everything. But to do that, you just need a medium pot. Add 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of light corn syrup, and a half a cup of water. Bring this over to the stove. We're going to heat it up until it gets to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And turn on the heat to medium-high. Now that it's reached 300 degrees, we've turned off our heat. Move our thermometer. Now we're going to add in some watermelon flavoring. This is very strong, so you only need a little bit. Be careful adding it in because it's still hot. Mix that through. Now we're going to add in some blue food coloring. And mix that in. When our hard candy is all done, I'm going to put it on this silicone mat here. Now, this silicone mat is on a baking tray. And I just put some foil up on the sides just in case it runs off. I just want to make a little circle to represent the lake. So pour some out. I've cut out the shape of my loot llama here, and we're going to cut 3 of these. And I'm trying to use up as much of this space as I can. And just put this on the baking sheet, and we're going to bake it the same way we baked our battle bus. Now on one of these, we're going to cut out a hollow part of the middle, but only one. So just cut out a little square here. Okay, after your llamas have come out of the oven and firmed up, we're going to join them together. And you're going to put the hollow piece there. I did break it off just so it'll fit perfectly. It doesn't have to look good right here. As long as the top piece looks good, that's all that matters. Join that together just with some more of this glue. Now, since this is a loot llama, we got to put some loot in there. I'm going to put some M&Ms and some sprinkles. Now just put the icing on the back of our top piece. So I also made this one little piece right here. It's just a little rectangle. We're going to write the word Fortnite on there. And before I do it with the frosting, I'm going to do it with this edible marker. That way we can lay out the words. Now just trace over them with your frosting. Now we're going to decorate our llama now that that's hardened up. And it just has one eyeball right in the middle here. We'll just put some of this frosting on there. Nice big eyeball. I'm going to make this llama look realistic by using these trolley candies. These come where it has two different colors. You have blue and this is kind of a red. We're going to have that red act as the purple here. We're just going to cut this in half. Now that you have the two different colors, what we're going to do is just line these up along here by putting some of your frosting. Just put a line of frosting here. And push these in. And then do another line. And we're going to put the red ones there. I know that's not the exact color they use in Fortnite, but it's close. I also have an edible eyeball I'm going to put right in the middle there. Now, we'll wait for this to harden up, and then we'll construct our Fortnite map. Now that all of our pieces are done, we're going to assemble it. I have this nice big piece of board, and we're going to assemble it by putting our frosting on there and just gently putting everything where it needs to go. Next, we're going to put our little center island here. So I also cooked a whole bunch of these other big pieces. We're going to use that as the land around our lake. Now that that's done, we're going to find a spot for our battle bus. I'm going to put that somewhere over here, I think. I don't know, maybe over here? Oh, that's better. I think that looks pretty good. I had some leftover hard candy that I formed into a gun because it's Fortnite. I'm going to put that just laying around. I also have these edible Christmas trees. I'm just going to put them in different places. Then I have these Choco rocks, which are candied rocks, chocolate chunks. They look like rocks. So we can decorate the island here with some rocks. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this Fortnite gingerbread map. It was a lot of fun making this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. Also hit that big red subscribe button. You get new videos all the time. Check out this video right here. And until then, I'll see you next time. 4 teaspoons of ground ginger. Nah. 4 teaspoons of ground ginger. I was going to say cinnamon. I want to say it every time. I have that coming up next. Okay. 4 teaspoons. Sprinkle the surface with some flour. I want to say powder. To the